All right, so let's take a look at today's trade. Um, let's get this set up. Yeah, so this is the 8 a.m. close, and really coming into the morning, I was definitely leaning bullish. As we all know, we've been in like an absolutely ripping up trade, and even market open last night. This is the new week opening gap on NQ. We came down, took this liquidity, and it looked like we were coming up to fill this full gap. One thing I was very wary of coming into the day, though, is just how overextended we are. That I was open to taking some shorts if we did see weakness, and my theory on that really was where NDQ is sitting overall. So if we actually look at the kind of the more macro trend here, we have obviously all this consolidation. We've been in about 6 months, parabolic rise, and we came up to the 1.13 fib extension. This is a high probability reversal zone. If I zoom in a little closer here, you can see this yellow circle. I had this drawn in weeks ago, and once we got up here and we still had this large unfilled gap, I was open to price testing this before maybe going higher. So I was open to see if I saw some weakness in the AM, I was open to taking shorts. So let's just take a look at what I was waiting for going into the day. So we're on the 5-minute chart at market open here. As you can see here, the zones I'd marked out were this yellow zone here. Also, I had down here. So we have kind of relative equal lows both here and here. And really, what I was kind of hoping to see was on market open for price to come down, take this liquidity, and then take the obvious long. If we didn't see that and we saw the price push up to try do as best it can to fill this gap and then start rolling over, I was quite happy to take a short down to any of these liquidity areas. So let's see what played out. So here we go. So again, we just saw a lot of chop. We'll concentrate on NQ because that's where I took my trade. Really what I was keeping an eye on in NQ was just this 5-minute here, this 5-minute fair value gap. And just seeing how if price could close through that. As you can see, this is horrific price action. And yeah, I was just waiting patiently. We were just chopping around. Where did I take my trade? Okay, yeah, so my trade was here. So the mistake I made today was this. So as this candle was forming, I thought we were rolling over, and really what I was looking at was this. So I put my limit order here, my stop here, and my target here. Being that I thought we were going to come down and just take these equal lows at this point. And what ended up happening was this candle, as you see it here, this wick you see, we only aggressively pushed up here in like the final 5 seconds of this candle formation. So I just had my limit order waiting here, just assuming, because we were all the way down here, that we were gonna for sure inverse this 5-minute and then roll over to my target. So I ended up getting tagged on this massive retrace before the 5-minute candle closed. And typically I wait for the 5-minute candle to close, but I did entered my limit order, not really impulsively, just because we were a couple of seconds away from it physically closing. And I thought that'd be okay. If I just waited, if I just waited to see, if I'd seen this, I would have held off. So anyway, I was in the trade at this point. I put my stop above this candle wick. And looking back on it, really where I want to be putting my stop is typically, if it's kind of an uncertain stop placement, what I try to look at is whatever the most impulsive wick is, you really want to be above 50% of it. So we'll see how this played out. So again, we never got the inversion here. So next candle comes up, I get wicked out, and immediately So this, like, I'm already out of the trade now. Again, it was only a half-hour trade, but right now we get my inversion, and this is really the trade I should have taken. It was unlucky for me not to get the closure here, so we end up getting the closure. It's still the same trade idea, but I do have a hard one row policy and one trade policy, and also that I didn't have great sleep last night, so I just wasn't 100% today. But realistically, this should have been my trade. It's the original trade idea, and it would have been stop here, and really, like, I wouldn't have had the courage to hold for these lows, just given how bullish conditions are. But we'll see how this played out. Bang. We came all the way down. All the way down here. So yeah, it was just more unlucky than anything. This would have been a dope trade to take long. So well, I'm trying to see, there's no inversion there, so that wouldn't have qualified for a trade for me. But honestly, this is just one of those days. That's why I do go half hour on Mondays. Just typically it's a less probable day for me. I do half hour on Mondays and on Fridays. But I have to be honest with myself, that was just really just a mechanical error on my end. My read of the market was perfect. It takes quality market knowledge to predict shorts in a market that's so intensely bullish. So I'm proud of myself for getting that right. But yeah, this is a nasty PM session. And like if I actually look back on the full day, the trade I looked at and like scoped out was the best trade of the day. I was just very, very unlucky to get tagged out on it. So I'm not really beating myself up too much. I think we're going to continue to see this sort of sideways action, at least maybe tomorrow, just until I think we're getting some more like details on what's going on in Iran. News-wise, I don't think there's a whole lot this week, to be honest with you, which is good and bad. Like that's actually, sometimes I like that. After we've had a lot of with a lack of news this week, hopefully we'll see just some nice trending price action, but it could easily just be consolidation given just how violent the last 2 weeks have been. Like the market might need to catch its breath a little and find some stability, but who knows? Who knows? Like these are crazy markets, like really unprecedented stuff we're trading here. But yeah, overall, good read of the market. Can't complain. Again, this market is just so intensely bullish. Like where did the daily close? It's easier to see here. On the 1 day. Yeah, so this is, if you look here, here's all-time highs. Now we have 1, 2, 3 days closing above. That's bullish. There's no other way to read it. Like have 3 daily closes above the all-time highs. It is a little scary going long here, knowing there is a lot of liquidity below. But as I said, until we see like aggressive inversions of these daily fair value gaps, you just have to be bullish on things. And we're kind of seeing the more risk on small caps. We're starting to see a little bit more dollars flow into risk on small caps, cryptos, all the rest of it. So yeah, things are looking good. It looks like we should see a great back end of 2026, I think.